Well, hello, accounting students. Here we are on February 14th, Valentine's Day, for another update video. All right, so let's talk a little bit about last week and also the case study. I know that some of you had some worries about the case study because it's a lot of points, 125 points. And for the most part, all of you got full points for the assignment. Just remember, read the instructions and answer the questions to the best of your ability. Again, I'm not looking for exact perfect answers, but I am looking for thoughtful answers, applying the knowledge that we've learned so far in this course. So again, these case studies, I mentioned it in a previous video, they're pretty complex. They throw a lot of information at you. I wouldn't expect anyone to be able to digest all the information that's in the case study, but you should be able to pull some of the big low-hanging fruit out of it and be able to discuss that and provide that analysis within the case study. All right, so again, great job on the case studies for the most part. If you did get some points off, it's again just, did you provide a full paragraph answer? Did you answer all five? I believe we had 5 questions in there. Did you answer all 5 questions with full paragraphs? And were you applying some meaningful thought behind those answers? I think you can pretty much figure out, like, I gave a 2-sentence answer to a question when the instructions say full paragraph. So again, just follow the instructions. And you guys will do fine. And in most cases, full points for the assignment. Okay, so that's with the case study. Also, we have another case study coming up, and you probably have already looked at it, but case study number 2. And this one is a little bit different, so just remember to read the instructions. It's really that simple. In this one, you're going to only pick 2 questions that you like. So you read the 4, pick 2, and answer those 2 questions, as it says here in the instructions, in 1 or more full paragraphs. So at least 1 nice, robust question answered, when you're doing these case studies. So that's the first thing I look for. If I see 2 sentences, then I know, we got to start digging deeper, because that's not nearly enough to answer the questions. So that's when the points start coming off. It's got a nice, robust paragraph in there. I scanned for the details, making sure that you have kind of met all of the, what I would assume, some of the essentials out of that question. You may come up with some new things I've never even heard of, which is great. That happens all the time too. That's awesome. I'm delighted when I see that happen. But as long as there's thoughtful, analysis there, and you're using some of the terminology that we've been discussing, throughout the course, you're going to get full points, for that particular question. So, all right, so there you go. There's that. Next case study coming up. Notice the due date on that one is, I believe we have, again, have a few extra days on that one. That is due February 26th. So you've got a couple weeks to get that one completed. Some of you have asked about working ahead. Can you work ahead in this course? Absolutely, you can work ahead. So if you want to work ahead, I want to give you just a couple of, just one more looking forward here. So we're going to jump all the way to Module 7 and the final exam. This final exam is a design your own final. So again, it should be, historically, students have gotten the full points for this assignment, for this final, if they just follow the directions. And it doesn't require, a lot of studying. It does require work. And you might have to look up some of these things as you're going through here, which is perfectly fine. But in the design your own final, we have 50 questions to choose from. You're going to pick the 25 that resonate the most with you. Maybe they're the 25 easiest. I don't know. Totally up to you. But the first thing I'm looking for is, did you pick 25 questions? And then did you answer those questions fully? Now, if you can see here in the instructions, it may require 1 to 5 sentences, to complete, to complete the answer. So in some cases, you can be absolutely fine. Some of these are pretty, straightforward one-sentence deals. But let's say Medicaid. All right, Medicaid might take about, well, you could do a whole textbook on Medicaid, but if you were choosing number 5, yeah, you probably want to, at least hit 3 sentences on that. So not all of them are going to be those one sentence definitions. So you'll grab those for sure, makes sense. But then some of them are going to require, 2, 3, or 4 sentences to answer that. But again, very achievable. Like this is the one final that I could say you can absolutely guarantee get all the points. It's really up to you, if you put in the effort. Okay, so that is with our design your own final in module 7. Also, you've seen I've interjected a couple of extra credit assignments. So if you want the points, they're there for you. Totally up to you. Some of you have, great point totals, probably don't need any extra points. You can also do this. As you get through, as we get into module 7, coming up, if you look at your point totals and go, yeah, maybe I need it, you can do those extra credit at the last minute. As long as they're there before the course closes, which is on February 26th, I'll take that extra credit. So again, you got 2 opportunities. You got a learning activity that I turned into extra credit, and also a Mercy's core value assignment that is in module 7 for extra credit. So plenty of opportunity to get some extra points, especially if you weren't happy with some of your points that you received earlier in the course. Those 2 extra credits can add to anything that you might have lost earlier in the course. And then lastly, before we close out here, I want to remind you that I do accept late work. A few of you have some missing assignments. Some of those are pretty big ticket assignments that would basically bring you down a letter grade. Make sure you get those assignments in. I do take late work. There is going to be a deduction on points, which is fair to all the folks that got their assignments in on time. But if it's a 125 point assignment, and I take off 20 points for being late, that 100 points that you can have, 105 points, is definitely worth it, and that preserves a letter grade. The course is based off of 1,000 points, so every 100 you lose brings you down a letter grade. So you may be happy with a B. That's perfectly fine. Up to you. You kind of your own strategy there. But if it's relatively easy with a few hours work, submitting that assignment and getting those points in, please do submit that. Again, I take late work all the way up until the very end of the class. So you got, time to get that in. So again, I encourage you, if you got some single points, as I'm grading, for those of you that have any missing assignment, you'll notice I'll put a single point in there for the assignment to kind of draw your attention to it. And then, I'll usually put something in there like, hey, please submit for course points. So there you go. That's just I'm going to put that out there for you guys. It's there for you if you want to try to get as many points out of this class as possible so you can get the grade that you want. All right, that is it for today. Again, if you guys have any questions or problems, or anything comes up, you know how to reach me. Don't hesitate to do that. I know it's been pretty quiet from you guys last week, got a little bit smaller group, but that either means everything is going really good, and you got the rhythm of the course, or you're completely lost. But no, it looks like everybody's pretty much got the rhythm of the course and they know what they need to do. But if something does come up, don't hesitate to reach out. All right, everybody have a great week. Thanks.